the most hotly debated, fiercely contested individual award in the NBA has finally been decided. After months of passionate arguments, statistical breakdowns, and fan campaigns, the 2025 NBA Most Valuable Player Award has been announced. And the winner is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder. This marks the first MVP trophy for Gilgeous-Alexander, a moment that cements his place among the league's elite and etches his name into NBA history. He beat out two-time consecutive MVP Nikola Jokić of the Denver Nuggets, and fellow finalist Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks, in a race that captivated the basketball world until the very end. The voting results underscore just how tight this battle was, yet how decisively voters leaned towards SGA. Gilgeous-Alexander secured 71 of the 100 first-place votes, with Nikola Jokić receiving the remaining 29. No other player received any first or second-place votes, truly highlighting this as a two-man race. Let's break down the incredible season that propelled Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to this prestigious honor. At just 26 years old, SGA had a truly dominant campaign. In 76 regular season games, he led the entire league in scoring, averaging an impressive 32.7 points per game. But he was far more than just a scorer, contributing 6.4 assists and 4.1 rebounds per game, all while shooting with remarkable efficiency, 51.9% from the field and a solid 37.5% from beyond the arc on nearly 6 attempts per game. What truly elevated SGA's MVP case, however, was his two-way excellence and his team's unprecedented success. He was a genuine standout on the defensive end, averaging 1.7 steals and a full block per game. His defensive impact was pivotal for the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that remarkably led the entire NBA in defensive rating, allowing a stingy 106.6 points per 100 possessions. And the team's success? Unquestionable. The Thunder, with SGA at the helm, clinched the #1 seed in the Western Conference on March 20. With a staggering 13 games left in their regular season schedule, they finished the season with an incredible 68-14 record, placing them 16 games ahead of the second-place Houston Rockets in the West and 4 games clear of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who had the NBA's second-best record overall. This combination of being the league's leading scorer, an elite defender, and the best player on the NBA's best team ultimately proved too compelling for voters to ignore. But, of course, no MVP discussion this season was complete without Nikola Jokić, the reigning MVP, who had won 3 of the previous 4 NBA MVPs. Put together a campaign that many argued was one of the greatest individual statistical seasons in NBA history. In 70 regular season games, Jokić averaged a near unfathomable 29.6 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 10.2 assists. Yes, that's right, he averaged a triple-double for an entire season, joining only Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook in that incredibly exclusive club. His shooting efficiency was also elite, 57.6% from the field and 41.7% from three-point range on almost 5 attempts per game. Jokic's advanced metrics were also off the charts. He finished the season with the 4th highest player efficiency rating, or PER, in NBA history, at 32.04. He trailed only his own 2021-22 MVP season, Wilt Chamberlain's historic 1961-62 campaign, and Giannis Antetokounmpo's 2021-22 MVP year. While Gilgeous-Alexander also rated incredibly well with the 25th best PER in league history at 30.66. His profile didn't quite match up with Jokic's in that specific metric. However, in another critical advanced statistical profile, win shares per 48 minutes, SGA actually edged out Jokic. Gilgeous-Alexander led the league with a .309 win shares per 48 minutes, just slightly ahead of Jokic's .307. This particular metric, which aims to evaluate a player's contribution to their team's wins, is given considerable weight by many in the analytics community. The core of the debate often came down to value versus best player on the best team. Jokic's proponents argued his unique value to the Nuggets. For a 7th straight season, Jokic led a Nuggets team without another All-Star into the playoffs. securing the number 4 seed in the West with a 50-32 record. The statistical difference when Jokic was on and off the court for Denver was staggering, with him on the court. The Nuggets outscored opponents by 594 points, without him. Opponents outscored the Nuggets by 275 points. This suggested an unparalleled dependency. By comparison, the Thunder, a much deeper and more well-rounded team, outscored opponents by an overwhelming 918 points with Gilgeous-Alexander on the court. But critically, the Thunder were still a positive team even without SGA, outscoring opponents by 137 points when he was on the bench. This highlighted that while SGA was elite, his team's overall strength might have factored into the discussion for some voters. It's important to note that playoff results have no bearing on MVP voting, which is tallied at the conclusion of the regular season. However, for those watching the immediate aftermath, it was a poetic twist that the MVP finalists met on the floor in the second round of the playoffs. And in that hotly contested 7-game series in the Western Conference semifinals, Gilgeous-Alexander's Thunder also got the upper hand on Jokic, ultimately blowing out the Nuggets in Game 7 to end Denver's hopes of a second NBA championship in 3 seasons. The Thunder then went on to win Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals against the Minnesota Timberwolves in a runaway. Ultimately, voters chose the narrative of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being the best player on the league's best team and the league's leading scorer. That combination of individual brilliance, two-way impact, and undeniable team success proved to be enough to separate Gilgeous-Alexander from Nikola Jokic in an MVP debate that will undoubtedly continue to be discussed for years to come. Even with the trophy now proudly in SGA's hands, congratulations to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the NBA's newest MVP. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins NBA MVP over Nikola Jokic. Concluding hotly debated race, Oklahoma City. Okay, the NBA has crowned its new most valuable player in one of the most debated and contested MVP races in recent memory. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was named the league's MVP on Wednesday, claiming the prestigious individual honor over 3-time winner Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. This marks the first MVP award for the 26-year-old Gilgeous-Alexander, who brilliantly led the Oklahoma City Thunder to the NBA's best record this season while also clinching the title of the league's leading scorer. Gilgeous-Alexander secured 71 of the 100 first-place votes, with Jokic receiving the remaining 29. MVP finalist Giannis Antetokounmpo was also in contention but did not receive any first or second-place votes. SGA's dominant season and MVP case. Gilgeous-Alexander's regular season was nothing short of spectacular. In 76 games, he averaged a league-best 32.7 points, along with 6.4 assists and 4.1 rebounds per game. His efficiency was also elite, shooting 51.9% from the field. Beyond his scoring prowess, SGA was a defensive standout, averaging 1.7 steals and 1 block per game for a Thunder team that led the NBA in defensive rating. The Thunder's team success was a major factor in his MVP case. Oklahoma City finished the regular season with a dominant 68-14 record, clinching the number 1 seed in the Western Conference well before the season concluded. The fierce debate against Nikola Jokic. The debate between Gilgeous-Alexander and Jokic was intense, as Jokic delivered another historic individual season. The Nuggets center averaged a triple-double with 29.6 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 10.2 assists, joining Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook in that exclusive club. His advanced metrics, including a PER of 32.04, were also historically elite. However, Gilgeous-Alexander's undeniable two-way excellence and his role as the best player on the NBA's best team ultimately compelled voters to award him his first MVP, denying Jokic his fourth. While playoff results do not factor into MVP voting, the Thunder recently defeated Jokic's Nuggets in a hotly contested 7-game Western Conference semifinals series, further adding to the narrative of SGA's breakthrough season.